Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is the Squared Circle. I'm your host, Hollywood J. Williams, along with Mr. John Zimmerman and the return of the Thunderous One himself. How are you, Tom?
Good, after those meddling kids destroyed my transportation once again.
Yeah. You know, those meddling kids, and maybe I ought to. Well, I'll talk about that later.
But you know, Hollywood J, I've been monitoring the show at the home office while I was away, and I know that you made reference to Saru from PWA.
Right.
Well, we received the package at the home office.
You did.
Yes, let me just get it out here for you, Hollywood J.
Saru the monkey.
We have the B-plus player.
The B-plus player himself.
Saru, pointing at you.
No.
Special gift from our friend, Saru.
Saru, the Japanese super monkey.
Yes, yes.
Right.
I'm a fan of the gimmick.
Oh, it's funny.
He is so over.
It's funny.
He wasn't too pleased with you calling him the B-plus player.
But, I mean, I can't see him as a champion.
Oh. Well, that remains to be seen. May 31st.
Maybe I'm wrong.
May 31st, he's got another match scheduled, and his ascension is going to happen.
Definitely.
Climbing up the ladder.
Better watch out, he may attack Hollywood J.
Yeah, that might happen.
You almost had a couple of wrestlers land on you last time.
I don't partake in monkey business, though.
Oh, too much monkey business.
Too much monkey business. But we have a lot of news to get to.
Yes.
First one concerning WrestleMania 30, Paul Heyman's client,
yes,
Brock Lesnar, conquered the streak.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of funny advertisements for that.
Oh, yeah,
lately.
it's a lot of fun. I see you post a lot of it.
Right. The latest one with a street sign coming up. But
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
That one's pretty good, too. But before we get to our big news that I have here, I don't have a worst of the week, but another thing I do once in a while is a special comment segment in tribute to one of my favorite newsmen, sportscasters of all time.
Yes.
Everybody might know who I'm talking about, but you have the special comment?
Yes, I do.
I understand, so why don't
you.
you go ahead?
Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening. My name is John Zimmerman. This is my full legal name, recognized by the state of Connecticut and the federal government at large. Within my Hebrew community, I am referred to as Johann Zimmerman ben Abraham. I do not hide behind a fictitious alias or nickname. Over the past week, I have been viciously attacked for expressing my own opinions and for having posted a factual story regarding a circus accident in our area. I've been issued several threats of violence, including the suggestion that I be forcibly raped with a power drill. I was referred to as a pest that needed to be exterminated. The persons responsible for this obviously have deep-seated hatred and Nazi proclivities. Exterminated? Indeed. I've been employed in the entertainment and media field for over 30 years. I coordinated the premiere for New Line Cinema's first foray into feature films. New Line Cinemas had moved from a video releasing company to releasing original content. The film that I helped launch was Dirty Dancing. Since that time, I have worked with Viacom, National Amusements, United Artists, Hoyts, Regal, and several other major film companies as a professionally licensed projectionist, film tech, and promotional director. I have been a professional DJ on stations such as WNHU and WPLR. Additionally, I have been hired throughout the region as a DJ and host for private functions. I've appeared on many national stations, including, but not limited to, ESPN, ABC, SNY, NESN, the Yes Network, MSG Network, USA, and WWE Network. I'm a published writer for the New Haven Register publications and the New Haven Advocate, among others. I will not be silenced or censored by my detractors simply because they do not agree with my personal opinions. I have my view of family values based on my own upbringing by two loving and wonderful parents that have worked hard to provide for the children they created. My beliefs are also constructed by my faith and my choice of political party. I do not and will not apologize to those who disagree with my own personal opinions. Live how you want to live, but know this: I will no longer tolerate threats of physical violence of any kind. The Anti-Defamation League sets a clear standard of language and acts that are unacceptable. I wish you all the best and hope you can find professional help to alleviate the hatred in your hearts.
Well said.
Thank
Well
you.
said. Well said, buddy.
Enough.
Enough is enough. I mean, we deal with a lot, and I mean, you can't impress 100% of the people 100% of the time.
No.
No.
But to deal with the things we deal with behind the scenes,
Yeah. You know, I mean, a good rib is a good rib, and it's all good. You know, things are all in good fun, and you know, the wrestling business is borderline fantasy and reality. And you know, we have the meddling kids
Yeah.
come and abduct Tom. You were abducted. You know, we have our own storylines, and we have fun with it. I ask you, if you don't like our show, don't watch it. The people that watch the show obviously enjoy it. Okay? That's all there is to it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't like the Real Housewives of fill in the blank, so I don't watch it. My wife enjoys it. I've seen it. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't watch it. So there's plenty of entertainment out there. There's 300 plus cable channels. There's Roku. You can get Netflix. You can get whatever turns you on.
yeah.
If you don't like what we say, don't watch us. Simple as that.
There's other shows out there.
You know,
know.
you have your freedom of speech. We haven't slandered anyone. We haven't crossed any borders. You know, to come back with threats of violence over a circus act is just ridiculousness.
Right. We're not out to say that we're better than the next guy, or you know, other people have their ways of
course.
doing their programming. There's plenty of other public access stations out there, plenty of
without a
other
doubt.
shows. They have their own ways of doing things. We're not here to judge that. You know, that's their right to do things the way they want or the way they feel.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And we present our format in one way.
Yes.
Others present theirs in another way,
Absolutely.
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But it's just the high school pranks that go or whatever. It can't go on any further.
Oh, absolutely
It's just,
not.
It just can't. You know.
Absolutely not.
I don't have time as an executive producer, you know, to be dealing with things like that. I
Right.
mean, I'm not saying people are jealous. I'm not saying otherwise. You know.
Well,
It's just I don't know what it is. It just shouldn't be happening.
yes.
And anybody out there that's watching knows who I'm talking about. I'm not going to
Yes.
say. I mean, let's just say this: whatever's going on, it's squashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
how I feel.
I'm here to talk about wrestling. I'm here to
Yep.
talk about independent wrestling. WWE wrestling,
Professional
TNA wrestling.
wrestling,
We're
yes.
going to be talking about Ring of Honor
We
wrestling.
won't be talking about TNA much longer, to be honest with
Might
you.
not be.
After
I know.
this week.
But I think we ought to just keep things positive
Yeah.
moving forward,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's no need to badmouth anybody. Or say,
We
you
haven't.
know,
We haven't.
no,
Be honest
we
with you.
haven't. That's the thing, you know.
We haven't. That's the silly
Mm-hmm.
part. We haven't.
They were a legitimate post.
Yes.
No names were mentioned.
Right. And you know, the one post that I got called out on, I posted a document that I purchased and was my legal property to do with what I wish with. If you buy John Lennon's birth certificate and you own it, you can post that. So I purchased a document that came into my possession. I posted it. If you didn't want that document to be out there, you should not have sold it to the second-hand person that sold it to me. Simple as that.
Careful what you do with your belongings. I
That's
guess.
correct.
That's it.
That's correct. That being said, today, I know they have Throwback Thursday. Since we're on Tuesday, we're having Throwback Tuesday. We've got a special clip for you. Nick?
She's all ready. I want to welcome her out. Her name is Nicolette Vincelli, a.k.a. Nikki V. And here she is right here.
Hi.
This is
Guys,
Great, thank you.
doing
Welcome
great.
to the show.
Welcome to the
thank
show.
you.
How are you this evening?
Tired.
Tired.
It's been a
huh?
long weekend.
Been a long weekend, but we have you out here. You're a regular on our dear friend the Fogman show,
Yes.
Center Ring now.
I love the Fogman, so he's definitely probably one of the better people I've met these days. So aside from you guys, but
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. We had. Now that was a guest we had back on our show.
Yep.
Back
February of 18th of 13.
February 18th, 2013.
That's
One
correct.
of the up and coming female wrestlers.
Yep.
You know,
And it, you know, she was a very wonderful guest to have. Very happy
Yes.
person, very upbeat, and she's got a great career ahead of her.
definitely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
You know, if you watch that interview, she mentioned she was working on an independent film. So I'm guessing if you go on to the
Internet movie database.
correct IMDb Internet Movie Database, you can look her up, and I'm guessing by now that that independent film should be out there. And you know, we wish her all the luck
Do
in
you
the world.
remember the name of the film?
No, she didn't mention it on the show, but I'm sure if you look her up as
Great respectable
actress.
guest. Excuse me.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, love to have her back on.
Great
definitely.
interview.
Maybe
Yeah.
one of these days. You know.
Yeah, we got great response for that. Matter of fact, that same evening we had on Nikki Nitro, a soap opera actress from Australia, also an independent wrestler, and we got worldwide response. Obviously she brought her Australian audience to us,
Right.
so we exposed, those two up and coming talents to the world.
Right.
So,
It was great. You know, asked them about how they feel about the WWE and the way the Divas locker room is treated.
Yep.
You know, the superstars, Diva stars, knockouts.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's somebody you might see sooner or later
Oh, without a doubt.
in the mainstream. You know,
Without a doubt.
despite her feelings,
Yep.
you never know. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible. But something else that is unfortunately is very much a possibility of reality of the business is injuries.
Yes.
And unfortunately, due to things that happen in the ring,
Yep.
they happen all the time. The WWE champion Daniel Bryan will be going in for neck surgery this Thursday, which is going to leave a void. Now,
Yes.
he is expected to be out at least a month or two. Now, if he's out over a month, the authority will not have any choice but to strip him of the WWE title.
I think that would be very unfortunate, but it would make for a great comeback when he does come back to, have him go for the title again.
Go for the title yet again. It would be unfortunate to see. I don't think that's going to... I see him coming back on day 29.
Yeah.
Where he comes back at the 11th hour, where they're getting ready to strip him of the title, and he comes back. That would be, hopefully he can make it back by then.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, the important thing is, regardless of storyline, regardless of the title, is that he gets the medical attention he needs, and he recuperates in the proper fashion. By coming back too soon and re-injuring himself, it's not going to help anybody. It's more about the longevity of his career. If you listen to Steve Austin, he says, he wished he could have gone longer, but between his neck and his knees and, the rest of his body giving out on him, it cut his career short. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we would have loved to have seen at least another run for, Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
My question now, though, is who's going to fill the void? Because you don't have CM Punk.
You don't have CM Punk back at this point. John Cena's been champion I don't know how many times.
Right.
So who steps up to this plate in the meantime? Hopefully he's not gone that long.
Right.
Where
I would love to see, maybe a tournament happen and it come down to like a Roman Reigns or a Cesaro.
Could
Get
be.
a new face.
it could be Roman Reigns at his time.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Roman
I mean,
Reigns.
it would be early to put him into that role, but because of the situation, the circumstance, it may be time.
Just as long as it's not a member of Evolution.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, Lord, let it not be Batista.
Batista, yeah, we don't. But he's been written off WWE TV via injury angle for the second time over the past month. This is according to my sources at the Pro Wrestling Torch. He's expected to miss a significant amount of time. We covered that, at least a month or two. And Brian delivered a promo last night playing up his injury, and then we saw an attack by Kane.
Yep.
And he was carted out via the ambulance. But we don't know as of this moment whether hopefully he makes it back. They don't know what they're going to. They didn't talk about the title situation at all.
Right.
Because it's too early to say. So, anyway, that brings us to the next pay-per-view, Payback, which I don't know what exact date that is. If you guys know.
I want to say it's the first week in June.
For
Payback.
June 1st.
June
1st from Chicago, Illinois, of all places.
CM Punk.
Punk territory.
Yeah.
Basically, right now you're seeing rematches from the Extreme Rules. Shield will be facing Evolution in a 6-man tag match, and they're also hinting at the third in the series of matches between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, last man standing.
Your thoughts?
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt.
I'm going to say Bray Wyatt because John Cena's been around too long.
It's time.
It's time. You know.
Follow the buzzards.
Got to follow the buzzards.
Right.
Got to get Cena off the television for a little while.
Yeah.
I know we make a point of it every week that he does all these things for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and other charitable organizations, but it's getting dry and stale.
We need some new faces like John said. We need some.
They only showed last night the people that were cheering for John Cena, which was only happened to be a few rows.
Right. Right.
And I don't know how many rows in that arena.
Well, as I said before, I think it's become like the in thing to boo John Cena. It's like the thing to do now. Mm-hmm. And he's just been around so long, and yes, he's stale, but you're not going to change the character, because of all the reasons you just said.
Right.
So it just seems to be the in thing to poo-poo on John Cena.
Whether I think they should change the character or not,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I think they should, but they're not going to. Right. And it's not to say even if they did change the character, turn him into a heel, he could still go do these things he could.
Yeah, but it just wouldn't have the same effect.
Right.
Because the kids look up to him as a hero.
Correct.
Right.
He's supposed to be a superhero, larger than life, which wrestling is.
Which they made him in the Scooby-Doo movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Scooby-Doo WrestleMania movie, which was fun,
Mm-hmm. But I'm tired of seeing Evolution win all the time. I don't think they're going to win at this Payback rematch.
Right.
They're talking about a stipulation, possibly. They didn't mention one yet. Could be coming. Don't know exactly what that'll be.
They didn't have a good night with the Shield last night, though.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Nor did the rest of the locker room. But I don't know if Evolution will be winning over the Shield anyway. Batista and UFC star George St. Pierre are getting ready for a project called Kickboxer, a movie coming out. They don't know the significance of their role as of yet, if they're going to play major roles in this movie or smaller roles. But it's a remake of the 1989 movie, which starred Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say the Kickboxers, the Jean-Claude Van Damme. George St. Pierre did a very well-directed and well-done fight scene in the latest Captain America movie. Mm-hmm. And he was just totally amazing. And if that 8-minute sequence is any indication of what he can do on screen, he'll definitely move up to the next level. George St. Pierre, one of the most decorated and popular figures in the UFC, and to see him fight, for real, is just a thing of beauty. And like I said, his sequence in the Captain America film was just over the top, and he was really, really, really good. So if that's an indication, he's got a huge movie career ahead of him. And Batista is Batista.
Batista is Batista. He's just Dave.
Yeah. But, and if it were a shoot fight, George St. Pierre would beat the living snot out of Dave Batista.
Definitely. So that's something to look forward to in theaters. Coming up eventually. They have to film it first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that means Batista will go away for a little while. He did mention that he had another movie coming up.
Yes.
He was between movies.
Yep.
So he stopped by to win the title, which never happened.
Yes, and they did premiere a trailer for the Marine 4, the Marine 4, and Summer Rae makes an appearance in it, as well as The Miz. So look forward to that coming direct to video, or direct to DVD actually. Shows you my age, direct to video.
But anyway, somebody that we would love to see back, but doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon, is Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Talking about not really having any plans as of this moment to return. According to a source in the UK Mirror publication, he told them he has a good relationship with the WWE, but he's not seeking to return. Too busy with his band Fozzy. He's been on tour with them since last summer.
Yeah,
Strong.
he's opening up a lot of shows with Fozzy for Buck Cherry, and the new single, and the album comes out I believe in June, but the new single is out now and it hit #1 on the iTunes chart for hard rock and heavy metal, both here in the States and in the European market. The new single, When the Lights Go Out, is fantastic. I left that space in there for a reason. It is really amazing. The last Fozzy record to me was good, but Chasing the Grail I think is the best work they had done. But this new single is just really fantastic, and I cannot wait to hear the rest of the album, because based on this single alone, it's better than anything they've done so far. It's got a lot of hook to it. It's got just enough heaviness. It really rides the line between the hard rock and heavy metal, which I really enjoy. And Jericho's got the pipes, man. He really can sing. I know how much of it is studio work. I really can't tell you, but I've seen him live, and he pulls it off live as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to it. And that tour is going to take him. Once the album comes out, I see him moving into a headline role rather than an opening act, or at the very least a double bill. And he'll be the closing. He'll be the closing act on a double bill, if not the headliner. And Fozzy is just going places now. So Chris Jericho will not have time for anything wrestling related.
Definitely would love to see them if they ever came to Connecticut.
Yeah. I would say that if it's anywhere remotely close, within driving distance, go. Mm-hmm. Definitely go, because Fozzy puts on a great show. And you know what? Chris Jericho is known not only through the wrestling community, but he's known through the music community. And when Jericho's on stage, take a look around you, because you're going to be surrounded by celebrity. Mm-hmm. Everyone comes out for Jericho, and the after party is fantastic. Mm-hmm. When I saw him in New York, we were sitting at the table with Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, all the guys from Avenged Sevenfold, Vinnie Paul from Pantera, the singer from Anthrax, what was his name? Not Scotty Ian, no, not Phil. Oh my goodness. Not the name drop. So, anyway, it was just the who's who of rock and roll, and it was a really magical night. And of course, Eddie Trunk from That Metal Show, and the fellas from that show as well. And I'm telling you, if you're a music fan at all, if you're a wrestling fan at all, go see Chris Jericho and Fozzy.
Definitely, if they came to the Mohegan Sun, it gives me an excuse to go up there again, I guess.
I don't think you need an excuse to go there.
No, definitely, I could see them packing that arena.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Or Foxwoods.
Yeah, Foxwoods is a little smaller than the Mohegan Sun Arena, so he can definitely do that. And like I said, if it's a double bill with somebody of that caliber, yeah, he can do a Mohegan Sun Arena easy.
He might be the first two-time. He might be a WWE Hall of Fame inductee and a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee.
Oh, I don't know. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a little fickle. If it took this long for Kiss to get in, but
He also hosted a game show a while back too.
Yeah, and if you listen to Talk is Jericho, his podcast on the Podcast One Network, he does mention that he's got some film offers on the table and some TV stuff on the horizon as well. And I mentioned Steve Austin earlier on Steve Austin's podcast on the Podcast One Network. He's got a new show, reality show coming from his Broken Skull Ranch, and it's like a Survivor, like a boot camp kind of show.
But right at the ranch.
Right at his ranch, yeah. So I mean, he cut his expenses right out.
Right.
He wakes up in the morning, rolls out of bed, and then he's on the set.
That's it, exactly. I would love to just get up and go right to work, and well, I don't know, with the place I deal with.
Yeah.
But anyway, Chris Jericho, we will check him out definitely.
Yep.
But another star that has not been seen in over 12 years, a WCW star, Alex Wright. Apparently has resurfaced. He's at the Performance Center in Orlando now.
Wow.
Helping out with the soon-to-be up-and-comers in the WWE.
Yes.
Has not been around in 12 years. Everybody remembers Das Wonder Kid, Alex Wright from the WCW days.
Yep.
And his heel persona, Berlin.
Well, we've got a lot of faces that are going to be showing up at the Performance Center. I know of one in particular that I can't reveal at the moment, but I've got some insider information that a former guest of our show is going to be down at the Performance Center training the up-and-comers really soon. So when we have definite confirmation,
we'll have to let everybody know
let
that.
the cat out of the bag on that one. But
can you take tours of the Performance Center?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Our correspondent
not right
says
now,
no.
as of this moment.
Not as of this moment.
Maybe in the future one day, but not now.
But we do have a former producer of our show who is down working at Full Sail University that has a partnership with the Performance Center, and he's working down there. So right from NHTV to the WWE.
Right, definitely.
So, I mean, the guys that work here.
You got to know he's got something to do with NXT now.
Oh, without a doubt. The guys that work here. I mean, we do what we do, and I don't think that we're anything more than three guys sitting here talking about wrestling. But the guys behind the scenes are up and comers themselves in the media, and
Well, quite a few
in the
from here
business.
are in different media outlets.
We've got graduates from NHTV on True TV. On WTNH, ESPN. 4 gentlemen that used to work on our show are now at ESPN, True, as I mentioned, True TV. News Channel 12. So, I mean, we have contacts, and our guys move up in the world.
Exactly. This is a premier facility.
Yes, it is.
Definitely. It's in of itself. I mean, it's not the Performance Center by any stretch of the means, but it's.
We do what we do, but we're a part of that. The gentlemen that work on our show, Nick, our producer this evening included, they're logging hours in, and they're getting experience. And if we weren't sitting here doing what we do, they wouldn't have that experience. They wouldn't have those hours. So in my heart of hearts, I'm glad that I can have just that little sliver of help.
Definitely. I would encourage anybody that is interested in the broadcasting field, like I am, like you are, like Tom.
20 years.
He's a legend.
20 years.
And
20 years.
business.
Other people have said, longevity gives you credibility. Nobody has more credibility than this gentleman right here.
Thank you. And as Ed McCarver always says on our show, the guys in the back have the tough job of making us look good.
They definitely do. They make this place tick. But I would encourage anyone that's interested in this, if you have something to talk about, whether it's wrestling or there's plenty of other kinds of shows here, political. I mean, there's a show about cars, I believe, or used to be.
Yeah,
There's the Jewish Forum, which is seen on Tuesday nights, I believe.
I believe. So.
Or no, it was Monday nights.
Oh, Monday. Yes,
Monday
right,
nights.
Monday
The
nights.
Jewish Forum is on Monday nights.
Right, definitely. Our old
So maybe all
time
those
slot.
maybe all those haters out there can tune into that and be educated. But
Anyway, yeah, no. I would encourage anybody come down here, look at the facility, talk to the powers that be here, and get yourself on the air and become part of it.
yes, yes.
Definitely.
And you know what? All the detractors out there, there you go. Mm-hmm. Fill in a time slot. Do it better.
Exactly. I mean, you never know.
Never know.
I mean, I don't think so, but that's just me. Somebody else might have a different opinion, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's what makes our country work.
Freedom
Of speech.
Exactly.
and expression.
That's the beautiful part.
Amen.
Amen to that. Not amen to. You're not gonna like this, John. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. WWE stock price dipped to a new 4-month low on Friday to conclude a down week. WWE bottomed out at $17.12 a share, the lowest point since early January.
Well,
I still say The Undertaker.
no. I mean, we've gone over this before, and Vince will get new TV contracts more than likely before the end of this month, and the stock will bounce back. The stock will bounce back. Meanwhile, the stock is still paying a very fair dividend, and I roll my dividend over into additional stock. So while the stock is low, I'm collecting more. So when it doubles or triples back up to 30
So
to
Big
$50
John here is being
range,
taken care of pretty
I will be very
pretty
fine.
good, excuse me.
Yes, I
Yeah.
will be very fine. So, that being said, I enjoy holding on to my stock at the chagrin of my my advisors, but I will continue to be part owner of the largest wrestling company on the planet.
That's right. Others are out there, but that is the largest.
That's correct.
Without a doubt.
You know, and other people have posted, you know, and they wish they could do something about the WWE. Go right ahead. You know, a major conglomerate just gave up 9% of the company. Their share total was 9% of the shares available. That's why the stock dropped as low as it did. And there's 9% of the WWE shares out there. You can purchase that 9% and have a say in what happens, you know, in the WWE. I just voted on some issues, you know, by proxy, of course. I could have gone to the meeting, but I didn't have time in my busy day to go to Stanford. But they send you a proxy vote, and they tell you what is going on, and they had a change-up of the top guard in the financial, and I voted for the people that I thought would do the job great. And hopefully once those people are in place, the money comes in and the stock comes back up.
That's right. So it's almost like a democracy.
Oh yes, without a doubt. You know, everyone that owns shares in the company has a say.
So you could oust the authority?
If I purchase enough shares, yes. Yes.
You could
Wow.
be the new authority.
Yes. But I don't have that much wealth. But, you know, a little at a time. A little at a time.
Rome was not built in a day.
That's correct. But, you know, as I said, it is paying off some dividends, and it is growing. And I'm going to hold on to it as a legacy to my children because I believe in taking care of them. So they will be taken care of. And, you know, college is coming up and all of that. So
Right.
working hard.
But then, if you give it to them a little bit, then those Utes
No,
might get a little.
no. Well, let me tell you something
Well,
about.
I mean, I got a solution to the Ute
Yes,
program.
yes. The storyline aside, my Utes are pretty smart guys,
I would say that.
and I got the documents to prove it. I got straight A's across the board, high honors. Love them, love them. But we digress.
We digress, definitely. This is, I guess, Throwback Tuesday, so some other throwbacks. You know what? I think somebody very, very important must be watching this telecast.
Yes.
Because I said something about them not airing Clash of the Champions on the WWE Network.
Yep.
I think somebody over there in Stanford might have heard me.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to bring them in sporadically. The different episodes of the Clash of the Champions. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, WCW, before the ratings wars kicked off, ran specials. I mean, WWF at the time had their Saturday night's main event once a month, and WCW at the time, once a month, usually on a Wednesday or a Thursday night, would air something on TBS known as the Clash of the Champions.
Yes.
They had different names to them, Dixie Dynamite, Mountain Madness, things like that. They would air them, and it would be like pay-per-view quality given away on television at the time.
Yeah.
And a few of them have aired over the previous week. I don't think anybody was up at 4 a.m., and if you were, you probably had to go to work. May 11th, Clash 1 aired, Ric Flair versus Sting. May 12th, Clash 2, which took place June 7th, 1988. That also aired at 4 o'clock in the morning. Clash 3, September 6th, 1988. That aired at 6. That's about the time I get up.
Yeah.
And this past morning, Clash of the Champions 4 took place December 6th, 1988. That aired at 6. And also another Clash from June 16th, 1993, aired at 2:30 a.m. So they're bringing them in sporadically.
The amount of content that the WWE Network is putting out there is mind-boggling. You'd have to literally watch it 24/7, and it's just more and more and more. And there's brand new programming like the Legends House,
which is hysterical.
Oh, I love. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
I
coming
missed
out.
the last episode.
Did
of
you
Legends
see it
House.
this week?
Not yet.
That I haven't, and then again, it's on demand. All I have to do is hit the button, so it's right there for me.
Very entertaining this week, the Chippendales.
Yes, I heard that Tony Atlas had a little bit of a gas problem.
Yes.
Oh boy.
In the limo.
Yeah.
In the limo.
Yeah, my son Jacob was laughing hysterically about that while he told me.
But I don't know. I still think Tony Atlas and Hacksaw are going to come to blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's heading that way.
I'll have to watch the latest episode.
Yeah.
I have a new TV I got to plug in too.
Oh, really?
Big flat. You guys got to come over one of these days to the mansion.
There we are.
It's huge, big, almost bigger than this even.
Nice.
Did you happen
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you happen to see this week's episode of Total Divas?
Yes, that I did see.
Did not see that neither, unfortunately.
I thought they were a little rough on Natty's paintings.
Yes.
I didn't think they were that bad.
No, Natty obviously is no Picasso.
Yeah.
But I think it was more heartfelt.
Yeah, the sentiment was there.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I didn't think the paintings really looked that bad.
No. I think they were overreacting, possibly somewhat for the cameras, but.
And of course, as a result, now we had a new feud last night on Monday Night Raw.
Right. Yeah, and it's ironic that the Total Divas had been filmed months and months ago, and now the feud just happens to coincide with the airing of that episode. So I really think that some of it is scripted, and and they hold off, so that it matches
strategically
up.
placed.
There you go. There you go.
And of course, now there's a feud between Summer Rae and Eva Marie.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Summer Rae, but.
No, she seems to be stirring up quite the controversy there.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It's an entertaining show. It's doing well for the E! Network, and it's doing well for the WWE. And anything that draws eyes to the product is a good thing.
You know who I'd like to see on a future year of Total Divas? The current champion, Paige.
Paige? I thought you were going to say Gail Kim.
Oh, that too, if she ever jumps ship back.
Well, that could be happening soon with that Dixie Dynamite exploding.
Oh, my goodness. Half of the production crew resigned from TNA. They
From
walked
what?
out. They had a walkout from the
From
production from TNA. Yeah.
What?
Apparently, they hadn't been paid in 3 months, and this is according to reports. And half of them resigned. And
There it is, the
walked
worst
out.
of the week.
And they lost another talent.
They lost Christopher Daniels.
Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin, thank
They
you.
lost Chris Sabin. They've
you.
also lost Hernandez.
Yes. So not only is the talent jumping ship, the people that work in the back are jumping ship. And the Spike contract with TNA expires this fall. I do not see any type of renewal
No.
happening.
No.
More than likely, Bellator will take over that spot and expand to another hour. Or we may see Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Wrestling come out of the woodworks and grab some TV time.
If they grab some...
I'd like to see that.
Jeff Jarrett and Spike probably always had a great relationship with each other, so maybe they would give him another
I'd like to
chance.
see that. It'd be a change.
And and I was giving it some thought, and I was talking to somebody else that's on the inside. Jeff Jarrett could produce his own content and put it out as a series on Netflix, and lease it through Netflix. You know,
He can make it strictly internet-based.
well, the Emmys this year had, I believe, at least 5 shows that are strictly on the internet, strictly streaming networks. Three of which were on Netflix. Orange is the New Black being the most popular. Kevin Spacey's House of Cards was up for Emmy. So the television landscape is changing, and cable deal and sharing revenue with a cable company is no longer a necessity. So getting a flat rate deal just to air on Netflix wouldn't be a bad solution for not just Jeff Jarrett, for any content provider. So I really think.
What do you think the chances of TNA ever being online are?
I think TNA might have to come to NHTV to get some TV time.
And they're not taking our spot, that's for sure.
No.
Bobby Roode has been temporarily taken off due to a fictional suspension.
Yes.
Right. MVP, let's see.
Feuding with Eric Young? Where have we seen that?
MVP's turned heel and he's beating up Eric Young.
Where have we seen that?
That's kind of like Triple H beating up Daniel Bryan, is it not?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what that was, right.
Thought I had seen that before.
Right. And Kurt Angle is out of action for 5 months following knee surgery, and his contract expires in September.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's see. May, June, July, August.
Bum, bum, bum. September. And Kurt Angle.
That might make him gone. What do you think, Tom?
Well,
Yep, gone.
Kurt Angle has expressed a desire to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Gee.
Do we have another person under a Legends contract come this fall?
That's a possibility. It is a possibility. You know, and
Suck.
yes, Kurt Angle was
suck.
a favorite of the front office of Vince and company, and I mean they had him working with The Rock, they had him working with Steve Austin, and they had him being the All-American hero as opposed to the Steve Austin heel, and
Kurt
Vince,
Angle had his milk truck. I remember that.
yes,
I remember. Yep.
and Vince always prided the gold medal. And also, like World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry. That is a real title.
Right.
Mark Henry at one point was the World's Strongest Man. He held that title. So, having a gold medalist brings prestige to the WWE. So, Vince always coveted that. And I think at some point, Kurt Angle will be welcomed back and will be put into the WWE Hall of Fame.
What about competing?
I don't see it happening.
He's dwindling down too.
I don't see it happening.
Right.
But while we're on the subject of Hall of Fames, the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame announced that their latest inductee is none other than
Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown, as you see behind me.
Yeah.
Doink the Clown will be inducted into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. If anyone remembers, Doink was at the ceremony last year as a guest,
Right.
and he was signing autographs and what have you. And it was after he left the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and went home. It was when he passed away, almost immediately after, like a couple days after.
A couple days later.
Yeah, the last New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame ceremony.
It was one of his last public appearances.
I believe that was his
Or
last.
was his last.
Yes. So Joe Bruin, also a friend of the show, not only is inducting our friend and my good friend Mario Mancini, Doink the Clown, it will be inducted into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Doink and his family.
Yes.
Congratulations, definitely.
Now Doink was a very acrobatic performer in the ring, and I just want to know, who do you think was the most, or one of the most acrobatic people to be in WWE?
I kind of like Rey Mysterio.
I'll say WWE, I'd say Rey Mysterio.
Or
I would
in
say
pro wrestling in general?
Pro wrestling in general, I would go with Japanese legend Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Tiger Mask, Sabu, if you want to go to
Very
ECW.
acrobatic, yeah.
But then you look at Starship Pain, John Morrison, and you look at Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston always has some great acrobatic spots. At the Royal Rumble when he gets tossed out of the ring and he does a handstand because his feet won't hit the floor.
That's amazing. I know. When he ever did that handstand.
Yeah, but I will say Rey Mysterio is very acrobatic. The original Sin Cara when he first came out, and in the cartoon.
Oh, absolutely.
He does some great acrobats in the cartoon
absolutely.
as well. But I think being an acrobat is a huge part of some of these guys' repertoire.
Definitely.
And you know what? If you want to be an acrobat, we've endorsed the Center Ring Circus School. Center Ring Circus School is on 6770 Oak Hall Lane in Columbia, Maryland. All right, you can reach them 443-996-8197. It's the Center Ring Circus School. They teach classes in aerial arts. And on Friday evenings, they have the Center Ring Circus School performance team. So if you want to learn how to be an acrobat and increase your viability in the ring, or you want to learn how to be a clown,
Or be an acrobat,
Doink.
or do any of the performances they do at circuses.
Right. The Center Ring Circus
Or
School.
an elephant trainer.
Or an elephant trainer.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, the Center Ring Circus School in Columbia, Maryland. Check it out. You can find them on Google. They've got a really, really, really good internet site, and it tells you all about them and how you can be in the aerial arts, how you can be a circus performer, how you can be a clown, although some people don't need to be trained for that.
Or a ringmaster.
Or the ringmaster, yeah.
The
Steve
ringmaster.
Austin himself, the ringmaster. But yeah, I
So
mean,
they have their own performance center.
yes,
So-
yes, they do.
There
So,
you go.
go
The
on
up-and-coming
down.
talent in the circus.
Yeah,
field.
and you would think Columbia, Maryland, that's like only a 5-hour ride, and God knows we've gone a lot further for something less. So hey, if you want to increase your visibility and your skills,
It's an important part.
it's an
Center
important
Ring
part.
Circus School.
Center Ring Circus School. You heard it
Definitely.
here on the Squared Circle.
On a squared circle, exactly. The award-winning squared circle.
That's correct.
Where is the award?
Where is the
We
award?
didn't have it. I didn't want to obscure
Is it off being
Doink the
polished?
Clown. Yeah.
It's weekly polishing.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You have to polish it every week. It's a really expensive award. I have some Ring of Honor news.
Excellent.
Something I promised we were going to start talking about it a little more, and
Yep.
we're going to start doing it.
All right.
UFC fighter Tom Lawler has been added to the Ring of Honor versus New Japan show for this coming Saturday. Lawler will be in the corner of, I believe it's called Redragon, the combination of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, when they challenge the Young Bucks for the Ring of Honor tag titles. Guy that's coming up is at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Ring of Honor versus New Japan. They had a card last week in Toronto. I don't have any results of that online, but
this event, do you know if it's going to be an pay-per-view or is it just strictly live?
it is going to be an pay-per-view.
Okay.
I understand it'll be available on Ustream. I'm not exactly sure if you want to watch it on your television. If you have something called Ustream,
Okay.
just look at that, and you'll have to see if you can get it through that.
Yeah.
They are talking about. Somebody told me they were talking about maybe a deal with Roku in the future,
Excellent.
so you can actually watch it from a streaming
As I've
device.
said, it's going to be the way of the future. I really see the cable companies slowly being taken out of the picture, and everything will be just streaming.
What I could do is I could find out the link, the iPay-per-view link.
Yep.
For the pay-per-view this Saturday night. I can also put that on the page.
That's correct.
I can look for it.
Yep.
And do that. That would be good. Also, Jim Ross, who was the former announcer for WWE.
Yes.
Good old JR.
Good old JR.
Yep.
Ring of Honor promoted a Jim Ross appearance May 9th in Toronto,
Yes.
the night before their last card up in Toronto, last Saturday evening.
Yes, Jim Ross did an evening with Jim Ross, and it's a new thing that a lot of the wrestlers are starting to do, and a lot of the musicians are starting to do, and it's much like Mick Foley did, and he's just basically on stage telling stories about his career and his life and his experiences, and Jim Ross is doing the same thing. Scott Ian from Anthrax is doing it. Jericho has done it a few times, and Jericho is on his third book,
Right.
which is going to come out soon, and more than likely he'll be doing a spoken word tour like that. Yeah. So Jim Ross was in Toronto, and he did mention on his podcast, The Ross Report, that he was going to make the appearance and do his show, and then appear at the Ring of Honor strictly as a fan. He's a fan of the Ring of Honor product, and he's still a fan of professional wrestling in general. And the Ring of Honor was
Think they'd ever
kind enough to
offer him
promote
an
him.
announcer contract?
According to Jim Ross, that's not something he's interested in right now.
Right now.
But never say never.
Never say never. Could be he was a voice in WCW and a voice in the WWE, and if they ever can make it onto national television, which I understand is something they I heard a couple stories they don't really want to go there.
He's got a deal with he's got a deal to make appearances with the Fox Sports Network.
Jim Ross.
Yes.
Right.
So I mean, I really envision him doing like college football, because he is a huge football fan.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, I can see him doing some
Oklahoma.
commentating, on some college football, and being at the desk on a Saturday and commenting on whatever's going on in the world of college football.
Exactly. Be less of a travel schedule
Yes.
for him too
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. So
Right.
he does have a working relationship with Fox Sports Network, Fox Sports 1.
Fox Sports 1. Also, a big star of Ring of Honor now, a former TNA champion, AJ Styles. He has captured, like we talked about last week, the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP Championship. This does impact things at Ring of Honor. The main event for this coming Saturday evening, when ROH takes on New Japan, is AJ Styles defending that title against Michael Elgin.
Nice. Ring of Honor.
You know anything about Michael Elgin at all?
I know the name. I couldn't roll off his credentials off the tip of my tongue. But, Ring of Honor is really starting to gain some momentum, and hopefully they can work out some of their production issues, because it still looks like a third-rate production. And according to Jim Ross, and I agree, they need to slow down their talent a little bit. They're doing so many spots in such a short time that the audience can't keep up. It's too
They're
quick.
actually too action-packed.
Yeah, it's too quick. It's too quick.
They're the anti-WWE
And the anti-TNA,
And the
Yeah.
There's actually too much action.
Yeah, it's almost as if, the guys are getting their spots and they just want to show off everything they can do in that 3-minute match. And it's like boom, 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 boom. And you need to give the audience some time to react to what they just saw, and give them time to set up the next spot. And if you're doing spot, there's no reaction time, and the audience is just confused.
They're almost just going too quickly.
Yes, yeah, and again, it's a matter of lighting, camera work, and what have you. And once they nail some of that down, they will be a contender for a national TV contract. Mm-hmm. So we shall see. We've got about 4 minutes left, fellas.
I don't really have too much else, but I hope that Ring of Honor would get a national TV contract at some point.
Well,
I'd like to see it.
With TNA possibly getting off of Spike, that leaves a void. Mm-hmm. Not just for Spike, but for a wrestling show on any network. Hopefully WWE gets some competition. Because without competition, you become stale.
But I have one more thing to get to.
Don't be a bully.
Before this evening is
Be a
over.
star.
Now we've had our issues with these Utes and detractors and things. And I've been honored to be part of 2 different groups over the past couple decades. Me and my buddies, the Inner Circle, hang out, do things together, ride high, just like that.
Yep.
But everybody remembers in 1996 when the scourge of the NWO came around.
Oh no.
And you know what? They may have reopened an old case. They may have brought back the monster inside me.
Uh-oh.
Do you know who I am?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. It's the North Haven chapter. Hollywood J rules.
Look at this right here. The North Haven chapter. If I have to, I will do what I have to do. I will do what's necessary.
Will you travel across borders?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Perhaps we should make this the Southern Connecticut chapter.
All of that remains to be seen. We have to wrap up for this evening. The NWO North Haven chapter. We will see what happens next week. Mr. Tom Dacey.
Back again Monday night with Talking with Tom.
Talking with Tom. Yes.
Good night.
Looking forward to it. 20 years in the making.
Good luck. Good luck.